Everton 0, Manchester United 3. I predicted 2-0 Everton. I'm glad that I was wrong. We got a clean sheet, 3 goals. Very nicely taken goal by Anthony Martial. Hopefully that'll boost his confidence if he can stay fit. Garnacho's overhead bicycle kick, unbelievable. One of the best I've ever seen in terms of technique. And obviously the Rashford penalty, which Bruno usually takes the penalties, but handed it to Rashford to try and boost his confidence, which was a nice touch. I was surprised by the result because of the deduction with Everton. I thought that they would be a bit more challenging in the game. But saying that, I do think they were the better team, despite the scoreline, because it was, again, moments from us. I'm not complaining, we've got the 3 points, but we didn't, dictate the game or control the game. We got a decision for a penalty, out of this world finish with Garnacho's overhead. And Martial's, to be fair, was a nice move and a nice finish. But, yeah, I don't feel like the scoreline really tells the whole story of the game, because I do feel like Everton controlled the game pretty much. But at the end of the day, all that matters is the 3 points at the end of the game and the score, obviously. So, another clean sheet. Onana, a few moments where he looked a little bit clumsy, but clean sheet regardless. I'd like to just big up Mainoo in the midfield, though. Started because of injuries. Youngster, what was it, under 21's United Player of the Year last year? Or I saw a stat pop up in the game yesterday. And he was fantastic. Obviously, he's had a little bit of injuries himself and not always been in the team. But got a big opportunity yesterday in a hostile environment at Goodison Park. And I thought he was our best player. Spoiler alert, he was my man of the match. Garnacho's finish was just out of this world. But I think in terms of an overall game, Mainoo was just by far the best player on the pitch. Hopefully that is a big step for him now, and he can get a more regular place in the team, even if he doesn't always start. Because I think he showed what he could do yesterday. Yes, he's very young, but we have to be careful of how we manage him now, because we don't want to give him too many minutes, but then we don't want to protect him too much either, because you're not going to get the best. Delighted with the result, surprised a little bit, but in a good way, because it's hard, because I'm not convinced that we didn't control the game at all. Everton were the better team, but the scoreline is what matters at the end of the game, and the 3 points, which is we did both of them. So hopefully the performances can change in the future. It's been a long time since we've dominated and controlled games. Happy with the result though, 3 points, and yeah, it puts us nicely in the table in the top 10. So I know we're not 9th or 10th, we're higher up, but it's just a nice position to be in right now. Despite the performances, we're getting the results, which is always helpful. Man of the match, as I said, Mainoo. Player ratings, Onana, I give him a 6. As I said, I remember he came for a corner or something at one point and kind of parried it, but then caught it. But did make a few key saves in the game. I don't think he was brilliant, but I don't think it was terrible. I gave him a slight above average with a 6. Lindelof and Maguire, gave them both a 4. They did what they needed to do, but they still looked clumsy doing it. We did get a clean sheet, so you could give them more, but I don't think their overall game was brilliant, and I felt like they got away with it a bit. 4 for both. And to be fair to him, Lindelof did start off the Garnacho goal, so I can't ignore that, but overall, I think they both were a bit dodgy. Delo, I gave him a 5. I thought he started well, and then he got caught defensively quite a lot, but he puts the cross in for Garnacho's goal, so I feel like he had an average game, because defensively he wasn't great, but he did come up with an assist, and he did look lively at the start, but I feel like he tapered off a little bit. Average 5. Luke Shaw obviously came back into the team. I didn't know if it would be too much of a risk to just throw him in instead of bringing him off the bench. But I think it worked. I think he had an okay game. I don't think he was brilliant. I don't think he was terrible. I thought he had an average game. Bruno, I ended up giving him an average. He gets the assist for the Martial goal, but I do think he was wasteful other than that. I think he got better in the last 5-10 minutes of the game, but I feel like for large periods of the game he went missing and you kind of didn't know he was there. But he does get an assist. Could have had a penalty if he'd have taken it, but he'd give it to Rashford. As I said, the last 5-10 minutes of the game, I think he upped it. So I'd give him an average in the end. Rashford, 4. He scores a penalty, but to me, didn't look that interested a lot of the time. I don't think he was great with his decision-making. His penalty was good, but overall game and involvement, I don't think really was there. He looked a bit weak and lost the ball a lot. So I'd give him a 4. Took his penalty well, though. Garnacho, I'd give him a 7. Out of this world finish. coming in and out of the game at times, but he was still one of our better players, because even in glimpses he shows what he can do, and he can hurt a defence and change the game in an instant, and he did that with his finish. Loved his reaction for his goal as well, and hopefully we keep giving him the chances because he deserves it. 7 for Garnacho. Mainoo, as I said, my man of the match. I thought he was brilliant in the defensive midfield. Kept it simple, made key tackles, could start moves off, and as I said, didn't overplay it. And I feel like for me, he was night and day our best player. 7, well done, young man. Hopefully many more minutes and appearances from you. 7. McTominay, I give him a 3. I didn't really notice him in the game, to be honest. I don't feel like he made tons of mistakes, but I don't think the midfield he like dominated at all, or I felt like he went missing. So 3. Martial, 4. I liked his finish, but other than that, didn't get a lot of service. I didn't feel like he was involved enough in the game. Did take his finish well, but apart from that, overall, pretty poor. In the subs, we had Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Police Street, Amrabat and Mabry. I gave Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Police Street both an average. They came on, did okay. And Amrabat and Mabry both a 4, because I just didn't really notice them. So if they'd have played the whole game, I'd have probably gave Amrabat and Mabry a 3 like McTominay, because I just didn't feel like they impacted when they came on. And Ten Hag, I'd give him a 7. Maybe possibly a 6, but I'd give him a 7 because we did get a clean sheet. 3 goals. I know the performance wasn't great, but we took our chances when we needed to against a team that is fighting for their life at the moment in their backyard, and we went there, got a clean sheet and 3 goals. Great for our goal difference. We need to push on from here, and hopefully the performances come because the results are there. We just need to be a bit more convincing doing so. Very happy with the result. Let me know yours in the comments. Who is your man of the match? See you guys soon.